Look at that! It has a washer jet.
M-I-D to the E to the L to the U to the X to the E to the top. Smacking.
Why hello there guys, Qwerty Afro here in another Train Simulator 2017 video. It's been actually quite a while since I've done one of these. I think the last one was the Piccadilly line in the 1973 stock on the Virtual Districts line map. So it's been quite a while since I've done a Train Sim video. There's just not really been much I've been really interested to do in terms of videos for Train Sim 2017, but I think it is time to finally have a look at... Oh, and we're not having a look at the 455/8. No. We are finally having a look at... Yes. We're here in London, Victoria. I've been here many times. I've done many runs in the 442 Wessex Gatwick Express kind of services with that. We've done many kind of things. We've done to Gatwick and to Victoria and to Brighton and some stuff. But we now have a true OG classic. Finally, I'm covering it. It's been out for a while. I do apologise that I haven't covered it sooner. I did wait patiently for a key from Dovetail Games, but they didn't send it to me. But I have a very special shout out for this video. There's no normal shout outs for this video, but I have to just give a huge, massive special shout out to Alan Thomson, which if you guys don't know, and you should know, because he's a very good, very good Train Sim YouTuber out there on YouTube. I'll leave his link down below. I'll put him on the pop-up thing so you guys can go and check out his channel. He's an amazing Train Sim YouTuber. I watch him regularly. He posts content very regularly for Train Sim. It's just Train Sim on his channel, so if you guys do like Train Sim, I'd definitely give him the check out. If you've never heard of him before, definitely go, and if you like Train Sim, definitely check out his channel, as well as if you already guys have already heard of him, then that's great. Just keep supporting him because he's a really good YouTuber, and he was the one that actually gifted me a key for this train. So I was waiting for Dovetail Games to give me a code for this game, but I actually got another fellow YouTuber actually gifted it for me, which is very nice of them. So again, very massive shout out to Alan Thomson, who has supplied the key for this video, and I'm just very excited to get into actually just touching, feeling this train, doing anything I can with this train, because I've been waiting for this train for so long. It's been such an anticipated release that I remember when it was like announced by Master Key Simulations, who are the people that actually made this train. It was really huge. People were like, yes, finally getting some Juniper, some of the Juniper family series of trains in the game would be so good. Hopefully maybe this could spin off to maybe do some stuff with the 458s now, because 460s are no longer around. They've been all converted into the 458/2s or 10s or 8s or whatever they're called. The new ones that have Southwest Trains have, even though they're demolishing them for new Bombardier kind of units to come in the future, because it's all Southwestern Railway, it's not Southwest Trains anymore. But 460 in the game, made by Master Key Simulations, which I have to say, while I was waiting to get my hands on this to play it, I've just been hearing such good praise about this train. I've not seen anything bad about it, which is that's like, normally there are a few little things and stuff, but this train I've just seen nothing but good praise. I think the only kind of bad praise was like people leaving reviews on Steam not knowing how to work the train. That's nothing to... You shouldn't really leave a bad review if you don't know how to, work the train. Just read the manual and do it. It's a complex train. This is a really nice detailed example of how DLC, how train locomotives, electro multiple units, even diesel multiple units, any kind of train should be made in Train Sim. This should be the set standard for every single train that comes out for Train Sim, for this current Train Sim, because it is just on point. Visuals are good, the sounds are good, the interaction inside in the cab is good, the simulation of what you can do in the cab is really good, the passenger view is good, you have announcements on the train, the list goes on, but I think this should be the benchmark of what trains should be in Train Sim and what they should have always been. But thank you, Master Key Simulations. I thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing your other stuff like the 185, as well as I think you're rebuilding the HSTs as well. I'm really looking forward to seeing your future projects. Well, because after trying this, I'm very, very much so impressed. Anyway, again, very special shout out to Alan Thomson for supplying me the key for this 460. Please do check out his channel if you do like train sim. Very nice guy, and again, thank you to him. So we're here at London Victoria, and don't worry, I am talking a lot, and I'm not getting into the train, but our service actually departs here at 7:30, as you can see, so we still do have another 5 minutes, because right now it is a red signal here out of London Victoria. So if you guys are wondering why you just shut up and get in the train and go, even if I got into the train and did shut up, I wouldn't be able to go anywhere. But we're going to get into the train now, and we're going to go and set it up and do all sorts of things. Here's the cab off the 460. Just look at the texturing and stuff in this. It's so good. Look at that. This is just how every train really should be built. It's just absolutely beautiful in here. And in certain scenarios, you can also do a cold start up, where you have to like go behind here and actually press the set train auxiliaries button for like a couple of seconds, and it all boots up, and then you kind of just start from there essentially. But it's already on for us here, starting in London Victoria. The scenario thing goes as: good morning. As soon as you're ready, you may begin setting your cab up before opening your doors for boarding. Please be reminded that this scenario does not enforce scripted timetable, as this service is a DDO, driver door operation only, or something like that. It is driver's responsibility to ensure that the service departs on time. Please note that your destination is Gatwick Airport, which is hashtag 0091, and your GSMR code is 1 Delta 30509, which is great because we do have a simulated GSMR machine radio. There is another one which is on like older variants, is like the other radio thing, but the GSMR is the one on the kind of modern kind of units of like the last few years of when they were actually like in service, I think, before they used the other kind of radio. But that's kind of our scenario today that we are doing. So a nice London Victoria to Gatwick run. There's so much to get involved with this train. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just flip on the master key here and bang it into forward. And then we'll do a little AWS test sequence there, which is all fine. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to actually open the doors. And the nice thing about opening the doors in this, the way they've simulated, because normally when you do press the doors, you actually have to press both the passenger door enable buttons. Like a driver would press both buttons, and obviously in train sim it's just T. But the way they've done is that you can press T and O for the right side, or T and U for the left side, which I think is really good. So right now, if I went T and O, it presses both of them, which is really nice. I like that. I like that a lot. And you did hear the doors, and the doors are like absolutely like spot on with the sounds, and it's just gorgeous. The train looks absolutely gorgeous. I really do like it. I really do miss them. It's a shame that they actually had to, you know, go out of service, but they were causing quite a lot of problems, and it was probably much more worth it to get the 442 Wessex units in, because they were probably a bit more reliable, as well as that these were only 8 coaches. You can get 10 car formations in Wessex 442, so I understand if that was kind of a thing. DSD is on, which I'm going to leave on. I'm fine. And there's also external notifications for alerts, so I'll leave that on. That's totally fine. Right, so doors are open. We can leave. We've got a green light now already, but again, I'm timetabled to leave at 7:30, so we have another 2 minutes here, so we can have a little play around, and we do have a few things to set up. I'm just going to put on the instrument light switch to dim, so it just opens up. I could put it even to bright, to be honest. It is like about 7:30 in the morning, so it's still a little bit dark out there. By the time we get to Gatwick, it should be all good. I can also turn off the DRA because it is now giving me a green signal. Right, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the train announcements, which this train has, which is like thank you. You know, if it can be done, it can be done. And this train DLC shows that train announcements is a thing, and it can be done, and pretty much every train should have them. If one train can have it, why can't all trains have it? That's the kind of dilemma and the kind of quality control that I feel Dovetail is just lacking with their DLCs, because you see all of these other trains, which obviously maybe they've taken a lot more resources and manpower to build, but this is the kind of quality that people really like, and actually, you know, you can see the reactions from the reviews and stuff of this train. So I'm going to press F1 here to go into the login stream. We're just going to put 0000 for the login, and then you just press F1 again, and that should log us into the stream. This train also has faults and stuff that can do. I think the faults are disabled. I need to learn a bit more how to kind of use the faulting system if faults do occur, because you can fix them and isolate them or whatever, but they're disabled currently now for this video. Maybe in the future I might do one where I put the fault systems on and they can have a random fault pop up on the journey. Who knows? Anyway, so nice screen. Everything here actually works. So all when doors are open, it shows which doors are open. If the front, because these front cab doors also open as well, you can pop them open like that. And then that also appears on the screen. If I now just press F1, you can see here the C there is now illuminated. DSD is going off there. We'll just do that. Right now, I'm going to just close that. And I'm going to reset it. And that hopefully should lock it. Let me press close here. And then that should, yeah, there we go. That should reset it. Because I remember the first time I jumped in here, I was opening these cab doors and my train couldn't move because the cab doors were like not locked properly, and it was just a fault and the train just wouldn't move at all. Also, we're going to flick the headlights into day. And then that you can see here now there's 2 blue circles and 2 red circles to indicate the tail lights at the back end, which have already been put on for us. Next, we're going to go into the train service number. So if we go into F2, we'll type in here 0091 as it told us in the instructions of the scenario. You can also find all this kind of information and more in the manual that comes with the train. And then we just whack it on F2. And then this goes in command in progress. And now, if you can hear, we have announcements, as well as we have an onboard matrix display in the passenger view, which I love these. There's a few trains out there that do have them, but I feel like if it can be done, which it can, put it in. It just adds that nice little bit of extra detail, and it's nice. It's noticeable. People do notice those kind of like stuff, and the passenger view itself is just so nice, just so nicely detailed. But anyway, back we go, because we are now 2 minutes late. But I feel, you know, I'm being a little bit thorough. I want you guys to know all the kind of features so far. But we also have one more thing to set up. We have the GSMR radio to set up as well. So if we go into register code, our code, I do believe for today, is 1 Delta 30 and 5. Let's just get that DSD 509, and then we just press accept, which is tick. And that should register our signal. Is that a signal number? I don't know. I think this is some sort of signal number, or your train number, or something like that, to register you on the like signal network or something like that. If you know what it is fully, give me a nice detailed description down below in the comments. I totally don't mind. So I think we're all set up now. You see that there's just it was quite nice, a bit of array of stuff to do there to kind of actually set up the train and get it into passenger service, which I actually really do like, and I appreciate the detail that has gone into kind of making that kind of a really nice experience. Right, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to start closing the door so we can actually depart. Obviously, it's driver operation, so I get to close them, so you just press R. Oh, that's just really nice. Right, and the DVT is active, as you can see, which should... I think I should have cancelled it there. I did press the correct thing for that. Right, now let's get going. Oh, and you can hear this sounds to me like a Juniper. The thing is, when Master Key Simulations were making this, obviously the 460s were pretty much demolished. Well, not demolished, or they were just refurbished and redone up to be 458. So they mainly took a lot of sounds and resources and stuff that they used from 458s, which is totally understandable. And to be honest, the 458s and the 460s were very similar trains. So to be honest, I'm pretty right. The sounds are really nice. It does remind me of a Juniper class series train. Oh, and then the nice Darth Vader. The nice Darth Vader look. I really do miss these trains. They were so nice to kind of look at. And then you obviously had this livery, which was the Gatwick Express livery, the normal one. But you did have an Emirates one, which was like the kind of like advertisement one that they used to have. And you do see kind of like that kind of stuff happen on, I think, Heathrow Express trains also have some advertisements as well. I think they had like a Mercedes one at some point, or if I don't know, they had some sort of one. Maybe they even have an Emirates one. Another thing as well is the 7 free. You get the class 7 free. If you actually buy this DLC, you actually get the 7 free whacked in there as well, which is a nice little bonus. And also that's been sort of tweaked up and redone by Master Key Simulations. I don't think that's the standard Dovetail Games one. I think that we have more announcements. These announcements are automated for the actual route between Gatwick Express, between Gatwick Airport and London Victoria, and they work automatically with the distancing between both stations. Now, if you want to do services to Brighton, or even maybe from London Bridge, I don't think there is codes for London Bridge, but there is codes for Brighton. But the thing is, if you're doing anything from Brighton, you can go into the screen for the I think it's... Why do I have to enter a number again? I don't. I've already done it. There is a... If you go into audio announcements, you can disable the auto audio, where you can then play announcements yourself, I think. But then there's also extra announcements, which I really do like. Like right now, we are running a little bit late. I could swap down here and go late running of train. So if I go there and if I press, I think it's F3 or enter. Oh no. Oh no. Contact signal, do not move your train until authorized to. Oh! I was, do you know what I was pressing? I was pressing R. I wasn't actually pressing E, which was the problem there. But hopefully we should be able to we should be able to actually get going here. Right. There we go. That's fine. Little accident there, but what can you do? I was demonstrating, and I was pressing the DSD thing, but I think I leaned over a little bit too much, and you're supposed to press E, and I pressed R. But anyway, as I was saying, we were actually listening there. I'm gonna acknowledge that fault. That's fine. See, you know, it's all good. And then normally, if there were faults with the train, you would go into the F4, and then the faults would actually, when you do enable the faults, the random fault kind of events and stuff for the train, it would come up here and you could acknowledge it and do whatever you want with it and kind of like, you know, correct them and get the train moving along, which is, you know, that's nice. I really do like that. I'll just stick it back here in the main menu thing, and it will go into the black screensaver where it'll just say, yep, to Gatwick Express. Anyway, let's get going. A little bit late here. I did put the announcement thing and tell the passengers that I was late. But, oh, just listen to that. Listen to that. That is gorgeous. I do like being in this passenger view though. Really do. I've never actually been on a 460 myself. I think the most times that I've used Gatwick Express is when they were phasing them out. Because I do believe there was a period where there was 460s and 442s when they were like phasing them out slowly and like phasing in the 442s, and even I think that's when I started using Gatwick Express a lot more, when I was going to Gatwick like by myself. But I was always stuck on a 442 and never really got to go on a 460. Am I sad about that? A little bit, because I think these are really cool trains. You know, they're kind of iconic in a way, because, you know, the look. It's not, you know, it's not one of those normal train looks. It's very sharp, it's very bold. People do remember the look, and obviously it got its nickname, the Darth Vader train, which I think there was wasn't there like another train that I don't know if it was Dovetail or like someone wrote an article about. I think it was maybe the 323s or something, saying, and people were saying that those were known by enthusiasts as the Darth Vader train, and loads of people were really annoyed about, like, that's not what the Darth Vader train is. The Darth Vader train is the 460s, and I'm just thinking, like, why would you say that? I think everyone, and you can debate with me if you want, the Darth Vader trains is the 460s. Right, we're coming down here to 20. I do believe as well in the description of the scenario, like before you load into the game, it did say that there might be some temporary speed restrictions near Newbury, however you pronounce that. Do correct me if I'm wrong. There are some temporary speed restrictions around Newbury. That's going to be a tongue twister there for me. But around there, we should get some temporary speed restrictions to 40 miles per hour. So it's going to be a little bit of dynamic service. It's not going to just be like a straight run. There we go. Be a little bit preemptive to start accelerating now once we pass this 60 board fully. I think one thing people... I think the only kind of criticism I say for this train is that the route kind of availability. You kind of look at this train and you go, okay, this is the Gatwick Express, this is the 460, it's finally in train sim, but it's only really realistically played on one route, and it's an express service between two stations, really. Maybe some services do sometimes stop at East Croydon, which I think some Gatwick Express services do, and I think I've been on one that did stop at East Croydon, but that's rare. That's the kind of only bad way I can look at it, because it's such a shame that such a detailed, such a really nice looking train and nice simulated train to drive in train sim can really only be played on one bit of the route. Yeah, you're sure you can go down to Brighton as well and do some express services like that, so it does have a place in train sim is what I'm trying to say, but it's such a shame that there isn't more you can play with it on. And this is like something where you could have like been like, Master Key Simulations. I don't know if they would ever revisit the 460 and maybe break it apart and maybe make it into a variant of the 458, which then you could sort of maybe play on. Well, there's no real route in train sim to play the 458 in, but maybe even make the 334 for like Edinburgh to Glasgow, something like that. You can see there's some Wessexes, which is nice. The new and the old, even though the Wessexes are like so much older. They're so much older than the 460s, but they were the better train. They were the ones that... It's so funny that when the 460s were like, they were thinking about, okay, we're going to get rid of the 460s, instead of getting a newer train, they went for a much, much older train. But again, the Wessexes are so much more reliable overall. And they're still, I think South Western Railway are going to start using them, I do believe, if those plans are still right. Oh, I don't know if those were South West Trains' plans. I don't know if South Western Railway will use them at all, but I think they are going into storage. I think most of them are now in storage. I think it's now purely 387s on the Gatwick Express. And I've been on a 387 Gatwick Express livery. It was not the most... comfortable ride from Gatwick to London Victoria, but you know, pretty much the south is filled with Electrostar, so what can you really do? Right. Wish there was a few more cameras you could flick around here in the passenger view. This is the only one. It's not a bad one, but I wouldn't mind like flicking to go the other way, looking the other way around and stuff like that. But you know, whatever. It's a good passenger view at the end of the day, and the dot matrix display is just nice. It changes for like wherever you like start at. To like say, oh, it's a Gatwick Express to London Victoria, or it's a Gatwick Express to Gatwick Airport. Anyway, we can start to speed up a bit here, which is good. I think also you can see we're on the slow lines currently, that's another thing that's that's kind of like put in this scenario, is that I think there is some engineering works going on the fast line, so we're on the slow line. That's why we're having some of these limited speed sections, obviously because we're on the slow line and there's probably trains in front of us or behind us or whatever. But then we also have that temporary speed restriction of 40 miles an hour, you know, in Newbury. No, it's Newbury. I don't like saying certain words or certain station names where I know I'm not going to be able to say it right, and then I flip-flop in between. Like that might be the way to say it. That might be the way to say it. It's just a little bit annoying. But guys, do tell me down below what are your thoughts on this 460. I think it's an incredible. Oh, these camera rings. I haven't checked out these camera views yet, but I think it is a really, really nice. Yeah, you got the switchboards here and stuff like that. Yeah, have that kind of view. These things, these isolators and stuff like that can be like disabled, and like if you want to do a cold start, then you would have to like flick them all on, or I think that's when like faults and stuff occur. Oh, double yellow. So probably a train in front of us, I would assume. We did have a 4558 that did depart in front of us when we started the video. So maybe that one, but that one was going to Sutton, so that's probably might be in front of us. Right, why are there two? There's two. It looked like there was two. Yeah, there's two. This is the temporary speed restriction coming up. I think that was a little tag there. I think. Look at this coming up. Maybe? I think that's like we're almost entering a temporary speed restriction area. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know. Because those are like the kind of, they look like, that looks like very much like the kind of, you know, those little tag boards of like temporary speed restriction kind of things that you'd put down next to the track. They're normally like orange or yellow. I think mainly orange. But we're getting quite a lot of... Ooh. Oh, we've been approved. Okay. I genuinely thought I had to really slow down there, but we actually get approval through here. Now, is... Oh, there is a train in front of me. Wait, so why did it approve me? Oh, this is the thing in Train Sim, and people have told me this during streams, is even though... And I'm rolling back. Oh, that nice little bit of brake squeak. Not your normal Gatwick Express service. But people have told me with the thing with approving signals in Train Sim is that they don't always mean that you can go through, because it switches tracks. So like, say if it allows you to go through, it might be like a free block or something, but it might not have switched the tracks for you yet. So you might go through, but it hasn't switched the tracks for you. Anyway, let's creep up a little bit forward. There might be a... I think there is is there like another tag thing here in front? But that train, it was the 455-8 that was in front of us. Oh, that distinctive whine. I like that. It just sounds exactly like, you know, a Juniper series. And I've been on quite a lot of 458s when I used to go to college. I used to take them quite often, like from Twickenham to Twickenham, from like Clapham Junction and Richmond. So I really do know how these trains are supposed to sound, and this sounds really, really good. Get a bit of horn action there. There's some engineers on the track. They've little... Oh, there we go. So this is the issue on the fast line here. They've obviously closed off this area here near Selhurst. Got another horn there so you guys can hear it from the outside. Very nice. It's a very nice distinct horn. I like it. Right, so now we have green. I'm going to start increasing the speed up a little bit. You can see it's early morning, still the lamps and the lights on at stations. Like, it's like a bit eerie, you know, but you can see that the clouds and sun are coming up. It's getting a lot lighter. By the time I guess we reach, oh, here's a T. So maybe this is it now? No, not yet. Maybe that's like a warning for the next one will be a 40. Maybe, I don't know. But we'll keep speeding up. We can get at least to 40. I know it's the temporary speed limit's 40, so we can at least get to 40. And you also put on the cab light. Does it actually impact the FPS, which is nice. Some trains you put on the light in here and it affects the FPS really badly, so it's better to keep it off. But this one's not too bad. And it's a nice ambience in here. I like it. Yeah. And also, got some nice good fire extinguisher, and a good nice little first aid emergency kit there in the cabinet there, very nicely put in. You know, all the details and stuff there. Gotta have them. Now, I don't know if there's trolley services on Gatwick Express. I don't think there is. It'd be kind of dumb to have it. I don't know. It's only a 30-minute journey, so I don't know if there'll be any kind of point to have them, but maybe. I don't know. But obviously these ones, if you look at the back here, these 460s actually had a trailer van, which I don't know if this is actually something simulated in, but you can't actually open these doors, which is a bit of a shame. Like, you think everything else is simulated, like even the cab doors, but I don't know if this, maybe I don't even know, but I've not seen in the manual. But it'd be so nice if you could open this the trailer van for the kind of luggage compartment, which is really cool. I don't like what they even used. Like, I've read somewhere that they were like bolted like shut like from a certain period, because they you know, I don't think people used them. Like, did people use that kind of luggage compartment on the 460s when they were in service? Were they ever like popular to kind of put your baggage there? And like, that kind of a bit awkward. You like put your baggage there, you go and sit down, and then you come back and you have to go into that to get your baggage out. Like, it'd be just better to have luggage racks within the passenger compartments, like nowadays, like on the modern 387s, and even on the 442 Wessexes, you had like just luggage racks, so you just put your stuff that were pretty much located near the doors, and you just put it there and you just go sit down. So I'm just gonna start slowing down here for 40. Maybe this is a TSR. And some of the noises and stuff as well, when you're like picking up speed, you can hear like when it, due to a minor bottleneck in the East Croydon area, you should anticipate a minor delay on approach. That is totally fine. I don't mind about a minor delay on approach. That is totally fine. It is not your typical Gatwick Express service today, guys. That's what I'm saying. I wanted to pick a little bit different. This is a scenario of the workshop. I will leave the link down below if you want to play it as well, if you do have the 460. I didn't want to play any of the... I could have, but I didn't want to play any of the scenarios that have already come out with this 460, because they've already been done. There's quite a lot of videos and stuff that you can find already. I didn't want to just, you know, not copy, but I didn't want to just do something you've probably already seen before. I wanted to try something a little bit different with the 460. But then again, I have there are a few scenarios on the workshop of the 460. So again, if you would like me to do even some more videos on the 460, like maybe some Brighton Express runs, etc., do let me know in the comments down below, and I'll definitely look into maybe doing some more in the future. I do want to actually, for Train Sim, I do want to do a Gatwick Express video in a 387 reskin, the new red Gatwick Express 387 reskin. That's something I want to do. I think I've done one scenario once on stream, but I really want to try and find a good one with that 387 new Gatwick Express red Electrostar reskin to do for a video for you guys. So maybe look out for that at some point. I have to come down to 25 miles an hour. This is very slow. Very slow. I might do another announcement and just like apologize for the delay. Coming into platform 3 here, not stopping, we're just going through, but we just have to go very slow. Right, slow it down a little bit. There we go, that should be fine. Crossing quite a lot of tracks. Let's try and do a little look at that, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Look at that, just such a distinctive looking train. Beautiful. It sounds, just sounds on point. If I close my eyes, I can just imagine a Juniper. It's a Juniper class train. Like, it's beautiful. Right, past East Croydon, we can start to get a little bit more power here. Hopefully we're going to get a section where we'll be able to stretch a little bit of the power out, because right now, so far, since, you know, since Clapham Junction, it's not really been high speed. I might give a little announcement just to tell people. I'll do an announcement to say Do not use luggage racks above the seats for large luggage. Why not? Let's go for that one. And there is a trolley service announcement, which is kind of funny. One thing I noticed is that those extra announcements don't play in the they don't play in the passenger view. That might be a bug or something. But yeah. I didn't hear it. Oh, 319. Now a class 700 in this game. Like the thing is, the London Brighton route is getting really like close to being fully fleshed out with like all the available trains from like most of the modern eras. Like well, you have the 460, you have the 73, you have pretty much all Electra stars because of reskins. Not really all of them, like technically, but all of them due to reskins. You have the 455, the 4558. You have the 319. You have yeah, pretty much most stuff. You have the 378 for the South London network parts. You have also the 465s, the 466s. You have don't have the 376, but pretty much we've got everything, and we just kind of now need the 700s, and then you've got yourself a good fleshed out route, to be honest. Like now you have the 460s, you have the 422s, you have the 387s with reskins for the new Gatwick Express. You know, this is like London to Brighton. The route is actually probably one of the most solid routes for Train Sim. And I think the time when it did come out, I think it was around Train Sim 2013. I think that was like one of the strongest releases for Train Sim. I thought that was like, because that was like from Train Simulator 20. I think Train Simulator 2013/14 was like probably the strongest kind of iteration and release of their annual refresh update. Let's call it that. And it's been even called by that. I actually saw in the comments of the new Train Simulator 2018 article that was released by Dovetail Games. I think one of the Dovetail, I think it was Dovetail Steve, that commented saying that this is an actual, it's an annual annual content refresh. That's what is actually described for each of these kind of new releases each year, or like every time they add like a year to the title of the game. It's an annual content refresh. No new game, nothing's been done to actually the core, you know, core engine or anything like that with patches and stuff like that. Maybe there is, but the main thing that they were focusing on was the 3 new routes, that the 3 new starting lineup routes, as well as with the new kind of like Welsh route with the new kind of Virgin Trains licensing, even though people want to see the 390s instead of the Voyagers, if they're the Dovetail Games Voyagers. And they also mentioned Train Sim Academy again at the end of the article, which I don't understand why they're still... I don't understand why Train Sim Academy is such a big thing for them still. Because, like, you know, I only used Train Sim Academy like a couple of times and that was it. But it's still a thing for them. I guess for new players it's a cool thing to use. But it's the fact that they're still actually, you know, talking about it in 2018 now almost is kind of funny. But, you know, it's there. Let's do another little announcement here. Let's do a trolley service. I want to hear what the trolley service one is. I can't really hear that. But it is there. But I like that. Train announcements are just so nice. Beautiful. I wonder what the actual main problem was with these trains. There's another 422 Wessex. I like that. In unison, 460 and 422. Beautiful. Well, actually at quite a nice speed now, up to 90 miles per hour, which I do believe is the max speed along this line. Just not that fast at all. It would be cool if you could see, like, because obviously the Wessexes can go quite fast. They can go like over 100 miles an hour to like 110, so it would be even cool to see like if this line could even get extended to like over 100 miles an hour in speeds, but I guess a lot of upgrading would be needed. But I am absolutely enjoying this ride here with you guys on this 460. It's just so nice to be finally driving it and doing a video for you guys. It's a really, really nice train. I could definitely do a few runs in this and not even get too bored, to be honest, because I just like it. It's a nice train to be in. Even just doing this Gatwick Express service back and forth, like I just like the whole kind of thing with the, you know, with the train announcement stuff, the onboard computer here, which you can configure and, you know, do you know, announcements for, and do faults if you want to activate the faults and stuff like that for the train. I think it's a very well put together, solid train. This is the standard, as I said at the beginning of the video. This is the standard. This is what I think every train in Train Sim should be up to. And I think the thing is, it's priced at £15, which I think it's really worth the £15 if a train's like this. I would gladly pay £15 for every single train if every single train was to this kind of caliber. And I think you guys would all agree with that. Do tell me down below in the comments down below. Please give me your opinion. What do you think of this train? Do you think I'm right with the kind of statements I'm saying about it? Because I feel it's... And the thing is, you can just go onto the Steam page and look at the reviews. It's not just me. It's quite a lot of people in the community with this train. People really do like this train. Really do like this train. And I can see why. I really can. Oh, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. It's just absolutely just taking some nice little shy screenshots there because it looks good. It's not the most beautiful train. I'm not gonna say that, but it is a nice. It's well represented in the game that it looks beautiful, if I can say that. Right, please be advised that minor delays are expected in the Gatwick Airport area due to an urgent snowplow service en route to a snow slide blocking the main line near Balcombe. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to just now let it coast a bit because we do have an 80 coming up. I think that's a tunnel near Red Hill, I think. The Red Hill tunnel? Or something like that. I know the station Red Hill is somewhere near this tunnel. That's the only reason why I'm maybe giving it the name of a Red Hill tunnel. Alright, start slowing down a little bit. But have any of you guys been on the 460s? And do tell me, like, do you feel that the sounds and everything are like pretty much spot on? Like, I've heard 460s, I've never been on them, but I've heard a lot of 458s and I've been on those, and they're very similar trains, and as I said, I think they sound pretty accurate to what Master Key Simulations had to kind of work with, because obviously they didn't, as I said, they didn't use actual 460s for kind of recordings and stuff. They only had they could only use like the 458s, or the 458s that were 460s but been refurbished into, but I think they're both the same train. Like the 458s before they're refurbished and the 460s pretty much sounded exactly the same. Maybe the 460 is slightly different because obviously it was mainly in like the high kind of in the high speed configuration, while 458s didn't really need to do the kind of the operations and stuff that a 460 would need to do. 460 which is non-stop, bam, what was it, Heathrow, Gatwick, Victoria, while 458s would just, you know, run up like the Reading line, the Windsor lines and stuff like that. But I do believe we're coming up to Gatwick Airport, guys. It's been a nice run. I've enjoyed it so much. It's so good that I've finally been able to make a video on this. I know you guys have been wanting my take on this train and my kind of opinion and my kind of just reaction with the train, and I just absolutely love it. I agree with everything that's been said about it in the community. I think it's really good, and as I said, this should be the standard. Will it be though? I don't know. Like, Dovs are obviously going to see the reviews and stuff and look like, oh, this is actually a really good train, like people really like this, but how much are they going to look at that and kind of make changes? That's the thing. No one knows. Oh, one thing. Okay, let me get that AWS. One thing I forgot to show you guys. This train has a washer jet. It has a washer jet. Let's look at that. It has a washer jet. We've put the wiper there. Let's get some liquid. Let's get some liquid on the windscreen. Look at that. This is all I ever wanted in Train Sim. I wanted a washer jet. And they seem to actually come out of the actual the wiper, not actually getting squirted just onto the window from like a little jet. That's so cool. But it's just those little nice little details there. Like, I never really noticed that too much, but oh god. Oh no. No. Oh, I am super lucky there. Can we get the wipers off now, please? Thank you. I was super lucky there. I was so lucky there that it turned amber, because I would not have stopped there in time, because I was playing with my washer jet. Oh man. But yeah, that's just nice little extra details there. Like if it wasn't put in, I probably would have noticed, but it was put in, and I very much so like it. Right, you may have noticed a few things in this little transition that happened. My game sort of crashed, and I think I found a little bit of an error, I think, in the scenario, which resulted me in having to kind of like, I couldn't redo it, because I think I redid the scenario and I crashed at the exact same point. So I don't know if it's something with the scenario that I downloaded through and it just doesn't seem to work, but I obviously wanted to finish off the scenario and get to Gatwick Airport with this train, and as you can see, I'm on the slow line right now because I just did essentially a quick little quick drive from I think it was Hornley, I think it's called, if I'm right. I don't know what that station is called. I think it's Hornley, and we're just driving and rolling into Gatwick Airport here on the slow line, which is a bit upsetting. I was a bit upset. I did redo the scenario to try and get it back at that same point, but it just kept crashing at the same thing. But I do apologise for that, but we will get to Gatwick Airport. It is a little bit brighter, as you can see. I think I had to tweak the settings and stuff like that, and I think I've matched the weather, but the timing was a bit off, and it was a lot darker, and like when I put it to the exact time to the scenario's time. But we're coming into Gatwick Airport now, finally, and I have to say, just apart from that little hiccup there with the scenario crashing, it's been a really nice bit of a journey. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've immensely loved driving this 460. Please do let me know in the comments what you think about the 460 and what your opinions and do you have it? Are you going to get it? And do you think that trains should be made like this from now on in Train Sim? Because I really feel that this should really be the standard, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that. Maybe everyone else does. I hope so, because Let me just get the doors open. There we go. And then we can get a nice little, quick little screenshot there. Beautiful. It is such a gorgeous train. But yeah, that is the scenario, guys. I do apologize that it did cut out there on that last bit. Well, we did get to Gatwick at the end, and the run was really good apart from that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, massive shout out to Alan Thomson, who supplied me with the code for this train, and I'll leave his link down below so you guys can check out his channel. Please do give him a check out. He's a really good train sim YouTuber, and I think if you guys like my train sim, you'll definitely like his train sim stuff. He just pretty much does only train sim, so you guys have info treat if you just like watching my train sim stuff and wish I did just train sim. He has you all covered, so please do give his channel a check out. Again, thank you very much to Alan for supplying me with a code for the Master Key Simulations Class 460. If you guys want me to do another video on it, or as I said, I really want to do a 387 skin for the new Gatwick Express livery and the Electro Stars. That's something I really want to do, and I'll probably do at some point soonish. But it's good to come back to Train Sim 2017 with something actually new to do in it with this train. I've been waiting to play it and finally getting to do it. It's been so good. It's such a nice train. I can't emphasize that enough. But again, guys, take care. Have a lovely day. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye-bye.
We ain't never giving up, 'cause we ain't born for that. Gotta catch us fast, you do. Fast, you do. The ship is cruising.